Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted 2 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is Chapter 5, also known as Urban Warfare. And we have escaped Borneo and we have ended up in Nepal. And Nepal is a very war-torn country. And we get a little tutorial on how to run and gun, which is quite pointless because you almost never use it in this entire game. And now I'm gonna magically move over behind a wall because skipped yet another cutscene. And we have these enemies that are being attacked by a bus. So what you want to do is just wait behind this wall until the bus attacks, and then we make our move. So first go up behind this guy, break his neck, pick up his guns and his grenade, go up behind him, break his neck, and then break the neck of the third guy. And that is something that's quite fun. They are so focused on firing at a flipped over burning bus, where probably everyone is dead already, so they don't even notice Nate sneaking up behind them. But always use those things to your advantage when you have the possibility. And now the game tells me very subtly, that I'm not supposed to go this way.
Guess I'm not going that way.
And I made a little mistake here. You see one of the enemies dropped a West 44 Magnum Dirty Harry style gun. Pick that up. Always pick up power weapons when you get the chance to do it. They will always serve you well. Because as we all know, the Magnum, I think you get 8 bullets for a Magnum. Those are 8 kill shots. Unless you face off against a heavy. Then a heavy may take 2, maybe 3. But there are no heavies yet. There are no heavies in this entire chapter actually. So that is 8 potential kill shots that I have just wasted. So pick that up, and actually we're gonna get another 2 magnums in this chapter, I think. So you can walk away from this with an arsenal of death in your pocket. And also say cool stuff like, do you feel lucky? And all those classics that Dirty Harry says. And I once again must say, this place, even though war-torn and shot to pieces, this is some beautiful geography. And that has always been the strength of Naughty Dog. Because in other games, often when you get into a really spectacular place, it's always a boss fight or something like that. Something really dramatic is gonna go down, but in these games they're almost always spectacular. Even though it may just be a place where you're gonna walk through, do some platforming, like I'm doing right now. Always on the yellow edges. Never forget the yellow edges. But that's something I really like about these games. The attention to detail and making everything so beautiful and so detailed. But in this fight, the first enemy, wait a few seconds before you choke him out. Wait until that guy goes into the next room. Because if you're too quick to break his neck, he will notice it and turn around and shoot you. So just wait a few seconds until he walks away, and then you can take out the first guy and you can take out the second guy. And now I throw in a grenade to get everyone's attention, hopefully get a few kills. I think I managed to kill 3 enemies with that one, or maybe it was just 2. And this desk this desk is your best friend in this fight. Because as you can see, it's quite long and you get a good perspective of the whole area where you're fighting. If someone throws in a grenade, which they do right now, you can just move further along this desk and the grenade won't even affect you. So stay behind here for as long as you can. And enemies will also have a really hard time rushing you. Because the only ways they can come in are from that big hole right in front of me, or that big hole over to the left of me. So you can always see them coming. And always keep one grenade. If you have 2 grenades, just throw in 1. If you have 3, throw in 2. Because one guy with a riot shield is gonna join the party soon. And I'm gonna gift wrap this grenade and put it right next to him. Because riot shield guys can be a real pain. I think you can destroy their shields. Here he comes. Throw in the grenade. He doesn't move very fast, so the grenade worked perfectly. And as I said, I think you can destroy the shield, but you don't want to do that, because we're gonna use that when we trigger the second spawn. As I use my godlike blind firing. And as I said, they really cranked it up to 11 in this game. It's really overpowered compared to the first game, because you saw that guy, he was like 1 meter from me, or was that 3 feet? In the first game I could have missed when I blind fired at him, because in Uncharted 1 the guns go all over the place, but here they almost always hit home. One guy tried to throw a grenade, not having it. And now we just have, I think it's 2 soldiers left. So I start softening up the first one, take him out. Then we have this guy, soften him up before he goes completely Rambo, does a suicide run. Tries to get at me, but he's sitting out in plain sight, thinking he's hiding behind that old beetle. And then the last of them, the very last enemy, comes running. So I push up further and I pick up the FAL, because it has more bullets than my AK, and I'm not a big fan of this weapon. This rifle has 2 redeeming features, or 1 redeeming features, and that is that you can zoom in with it. And it's good to bring into the next fight, because, or the fight happening after this one actually, because we're gonna do some distance shooting, and then that zoom in function is gonna serve us well. And now before we trigger the second spawn, I'm gonna pick up the riot shield, because we're gonna trigger the spawn and I'm gonna move back behind a pillar, and this shield is gonna protect me so I don't get instantly murked when the next set of enemies arrive. So we push up the street and we're gonna see a short cutscene of this big truck coming in. So now we just start backing up, keep the shield in front of you. It takes the bullets from the turret, takes the bullets from the regular enemies, and then we can drop it and hide behind this pillar. And I'm not quite sure how this fight works, because Chloe is gonna show up in a little bit and take out the big turret. But I don't know if this is a timed sequence, or if you have to take out the foot soldiers for her to arrive. But anyway, it's not hard, and I think, actually now that I look at it, I think it's after you take out the foot soldiers she will show up. And it just took some bullets, 1 grenade, and then she came and blew them all to hell.
Wait here. I'll see if I can find a way around.
And once again, I skip picking up the Wes. I have no idea why I was so reluctant to pick it up, because it is a great weapon. It's one of my favorite weapons in the game, or in the games. I always try to go for magnums when I have the chance. But anyway, that's my mistake. Don't repeat it. Pick it up and have a jolly good time with your next combat, because you are gonna be in such a great position of power if you use it, was what I was gonna say. But sorry, lost my train of thought for a few seconds. But anyway, we are going into yet another fight. This game is very heavy on the fighting, as all the first 3 games are. That is something they really changed in Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy. They decided to put a lot more emphasis on storytelling and also on exploring. You know, the scenery is a bit more open in both those games. Here, even though it may feel open, it's a very constricted area. You just have this dotted line you have to follow at all times. And here we see a great little Easter egg. You see this sign I'm hanging on? Hotel El Dorado, with something like looks like a demon mask. A little throwback to the first game, as I do another majestic grenade throw. Only took out 3 enemies this time. Bit disappointed. Should have taken out the 4th as well. But since he survived and I'm safe behind this sign, I'm just gonna gun him down with my pistol. And as soon as you drop down, move down behind this wall and jump up here, because here comes another riot shield guy. So we do with him like we did with the last one. Just a quick grenade behind him, and off he goes into paradise. And now there is 1 enemy left in that room. So I shoot the tanks, I try to force him out, or even better kill him with the explosion.
Oh crap.
But didn't work as well as I had hoped. He decides to throw grenades straight into the wall, gets panicked. And that is what I said in my last video. That when they harm themselves with grenades, when they throw them into walls or barricades or whatever they do, they will not kill themselves unless you have softened them up quite a lot. And that is some good programming, I have to say, from Naughty Dog's side, because how fun would that be if enemies start killing themselves due to geography? That would take out almost all the challenge in this game. And for some reason I'm not using the FAL. I brought it with me just for this specific fight. And now I get it. Down he goes. And now I think there are 2 enemies left, and we're gonna shoot this padlock to get Chloe out.
Stand back.
So she can join the fun. And now there are, as I said, there are 2 enemies left, and I'm ganging up on grenades. Grenades are something that you're always gonna have with you in this game, as I go for the headshot. So never be stingy about using them. They are a great help. As I mentioned before, enemies are absolutely terrible at dodging them. And since their blast radius isn't very big, it's not that you can clean out an entire area with them, but they're really fun to use, and they are very satisfying and also very rewarding to use. And all that remains now of this chapter is some platforming. We are gonna climb up into this old building.
Boy,
I don't know if...
you have to sit on something that big.
No, it's not a hotel, it's a residential
Do
building.
anything for you?
That's what I was gonna say. So we just venture up here with Chloe. We've done all the fighting in chapter 5, which, even though it's only 2 quite short fights, or 3 if you want to get technical with the first stealth area, it's a really fun mission. I really like this part of the game, or I like most of the game. There are a few instances that I'm not a big fan of,
Come on,
but
this way.
I'll talk about that when we get there. So this is the end of chapter 5 as soon as you walk into this little greenhouse. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.